I am live. Hello. Celebration. My friends. Yes. When is the last time you celebrated? When is the last time you were celebrated? When is the last time you were celebrated for something small, such as showing up to work or passing a test or getting up and having a peaceful morning routine instead of going and doing till you drop? When is the last time you celebrated your hard work? Maybe you've done a lot of healing work. When is the last time you celebrated someone else other than for the bigger accomplishments they've done or accomplished? So today, nothing is off the table. We are talking about celebrations. Celebrations both big and small and everything in between. Today, it also goes in line with stripping off the performance and the masks to prove that we are worthy and capable of showing up and doing the thing. Celebration also, it can also create a boundary for us that keeps us from speaking negatively and complaining and venting and being, Debbie Downer, right? Like, we all can think of, there's somebody that comes to mind when you think of every time you get around them, all they freaking do is complain, right? All they do is freaking vent. They got a slew of people around them that do the same thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, I need a shower just to be around you. But you want to know something? It's easy to get sucked into the vortex of complaining, negativity, venting when people do it. But, having those strong boundaries of, why don't we turn this into a celebration? That way you can then switch the conversation from venting and complaining to saying, hey guys, you know what? I actually celebrate that I actually caught a new way of doing XYZ. I just found this cool thing. Here's what I learned. That's like a celebration. It changes the conversation. And you douse the people in sugar instead of lemons, right? Lemonade, but that's sour with no sugar. So celebration is the thing that strips off our performance. It strips us of proving, and it helps us to anchor in all of our hard work, helps us to anchor in every single accomplishment, even the things that come to us that are really hard and difficult. Something that I do with my clients that come to me, and something that we do in we'll call it a mastermind space that I have. It's called the Hype and Flow Studio, is that I open up a safe environment for people to come in and celebrate everything, every aha they get, every awareness, every thing that happened to them that they feel like they're the biggest amazing stud or unicorn in the whole world, whether it be getting up and having a beautiful routine instead of, going. What if you created the most beautiful meal, whereas you're used to getting fast food, right? Celebrating that. Plus, it keeps the joy in that, and then you want to repeat it again. Why? Because you just said, I celebrate making the most delicious salad when I have been buying, and I celebrate, let's put it this way, and I celebrate that I don't need to go buy fast food anymore, and I celebrate feeling freaking fantastic and amazing. That's a freaking celebration. And you want to know that's one of the things that top performers, that high achievers, leaders, business owners, career professionals, including parents and leaders, I probably already said leaders, do, is they don't make time to acknowledge all of the small efforts that got them to their next level. They spend more time focused on the now and focused on the the end result. It's like a dopamine hit. You keep going, okay, great, what's next? You hit that goal, you reach that vision, and then what's next? Let's go. instead of, I celebrate that I completed my offer. I celebrate that I filled out five, I filled out 5 applications today and I sent my resume to 10 different places. That's a freaking win. Celebrate. I celebrate that when I started to feel angry because I wasn't getting called back for the jobs that I have been applying for, I celebrate that I reminded myself, hey, you're still worth it. Keep going. I reminded myself, hey, you know what? This is part of the process. And I stopped holding myself hostage and I stopped holding myself accountable to the unrealistic and too high expectations that I keep putting on myself. I am in a stocks academy and I have been there and I've been there for almost 3 years. And I celebrate that have I been there for 3 years? I think so. Anyway, been there for a little bit. Okay. I celebrate how far I've come because I've been acknowledging and celebrating my work along the way. I'm doing things more differently with my money, with my beliefs. I've changed things. It's been hard work, but I have celebrated everything. The other day, I realized that I wasn't giving myself enough credit for overcoming what I have overcome. I didn't even realize that I was literally holding myself hostage and I was literally holding myself under an abusive thumb. We can do it to ourselves, okay? We can be the most abusive. I was holding myself to a standard and expectation that didn't allow me to see all the hard work that I've accomplished, all of the things I've caught, all of the beliefs I've been changing, all of the things that has shifted since I've been in there. I'm literally catching on to things faster. It's not perfect every time. It's not perfect at all. It's messy, but I'm still doing it. And I do it. It's like natural, like breathing now. It's like, oh, I even realized that, and I'm smiling because how many times have you see what happens when you acknowledge? This is this is the hit, dopamine hit that I lead people to embody, embrace, and become inside the Hype and Flow studio. And as a professional hype girl, I also have packages where people can hire me as their personal professional hype girl in their back pocket, and they've got a coach. They've got access directly to me. They can pop in, and this is where we do some coaching, and you get more focused time with me than those who just pay to be in the regular membership type of thing. And it's pretty cool what happens when people start celebrating. They get a different reframe and they keep coming back for more of that instead of the complaining and venting that they're used to. Now, there is something that I actually caught not yesterday, just a few days ago, because like I said, I was abusing myself by holding myself hostage under a rigid rigid flow of doing things. I realized that I am finding the lessons a lot quicker for things. I'm processing. I'm no longer just dumping emotionally, right? I'm no longer focused on things. I will process things accordingly and I will get myself out of the loop. I will find the lessons, find the patterns. And I realize that I've been doing that now more quickly than I ever have in my whole life. Do you know how long it took me to realize that? And I just turned 47 in March of this year, 2025. Okay. I don't share my age very often, but just so you know, you don't have to be a certain age to start doing this. It's for everyone. Now, here's the thing. Some people will use the word gratitude in place of celebration. And that is so cool too, right? Because it's literally the same similar thing. And I'm like, you do you. So if somebody wants to say, hey, I'm in deep gratitude today, awesome. I celebrate you for that. That's acknowledging that they are in a different place. When you hear the sound of my voice, what do you want more of? By the way, what you focus on is literally what you're going to get more of and you're going to get good at it. Yes. So do you want to be known as an energy drainer that repels people? By the way, I won't entertain complaining negative vultures, blood sucking. What are they? Yeah, vultures. What are those? They eat dead meat, right? I'd rather hang around eagles. Maybe they eat dead meat. I don't know. Bugs, ants, whatever. Varmints, right? Live mice, whatever. A fish, right? They go fishing. They literally will pick up fish out of the stream, river, whatever, right? I'd rather hang around eagles than I would chickens and vultures. Why? Because eagles don't pay attention to the pecking hens that are out there with their negative garbage. Why? Because there's something that happens when you start celebrating and are able to shift into a happier state. Then you change the environment around you. Then you change your energetic state. And guess what happens? You want that every single freaking day, all day long. And you want to know how it strips the performance? Well, I believe I just said it, but it helps us to get out of that robotic way of doing things that keeps us in a loop of endless proving, because now we're acknowledging every single freaking thing. And when we start celebrating our hard work, even when nobody around us is celebrating, it does something to the brain, it does something to the heart, it does something to our bodies. Our bodies are made up mostly of water. Water is cells. We have cells by the very words that we speak. We are either causing ourselves to dry up and wither away, or we are giving life to ourselves. I am going to have you do an experiment if you so desire. It's a water test, or you can do a plant test, a rice test. Fill up 2 different ice trays, or you can, fill up 2 different ice trays if you have ice cube trays, okay? I want you to speak negatively into one ice tray, speak horrible things over it, okay? Then I want you to speak life into the other one, encourage it, celebrate it, tell it it's beautiful, all the things. Keep it in your freezer. You're going to do this repeatedly for several days. I want you to watch what happens when you pull out the ice cube trays. You're going to see, and I did this once. One ice cube tray was like dark. You could see through it. It was ugly. There were no like crystals. It was ugly. And I'm like, ew. Even talking negatively over the ice, I felt off. And I'm like, ooh, this is just an experiment. Okay. But to the one that I spoke life to, I remember you could see the water crystals. It was like flourishing. The ice loved being in there. You can see that how the ice was being formed, and you could see that the water was like expanding every time it got to so every time it was told something, because it craved it, it wanted it, it desired it, it lived for it. That's what celebration does. By the way, when you celebrate others as well, like I have a coworker that, like for coworkers who go to school, right? When they talk about their schooling, I just look at them and say, man, I celebrate you for starting, celebrate you for staying the course, keep going, and cheering them on. It's totally cool how that happens, right? So get in environments where you are celebrated with no strings attached. There's no manipulation. Get in environments where there's no jealousy. And in my environments, when I said there's a safe space, I don't allow anyone to bring their nonsense in the space. You you have to be aware of your energy, okay? No emotional dumping. We don't vent and complain in the space, okay? There's ways to bring in stuff that you're going through that's also not going to bring down the entire environment. It also makes you aware of your energy and your emotions before you come in. And celebration, when all you do is come in and say, hey, I want to celebrate that I made $50 today. I want to celebrate that my stocks portfolio is growing. I want to celebrate that I grabbed a cappuccino for the first time in years and it tasted wonderful. I celebrate that. Fill in the blank. So that's what happens when you celebrate. And there's no performance because you have nothing to prove to anyone. You have nothing to prove to anyone. And the only person that is going to reap the benefit the most is you. And then you stop turning into a sour lemon who destroys environments with rotten energy. And then you become the go-to, you become the person, the leader, the transformation agent. You become that person that people actually their faces light up when you walk in the room because they know that you're not going to be a negative dweller and pull them down. So thank you so much for being here today. I would love to hear what you're celebrating in the comments, if there is a place to comment. And if you just now joined, I want to say thank you for being here. But I gotta go and feel free to listen to the very beginning. But I celebrate you that you even showed up. I'm celebrating you today. And if you're able to in the comments, somehow comment on the podcast, even when it's done, tell me what I can celebrate with you and celebrate you for. What things would you like to be celebrated for today? Is it having more time with your kids? Is it showing up to work in a better mood, right? Whatever it is, it building your business? Is it understanding something that you haven't understood up until now, right? You have more clarity, right? You have more focus. So I celebrate you. Thank you so much for being here and stay tuned for the next podcast.